Okay, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Chan class for United States timeline. Let's see. We are supposed to be talking about the Song of Enlightenment of Master Yonghua, but feel free to ask questions anytime. Okay? Okay, so when he talked about the state of enlightenment, he's describing his own level of enlightenment, and his level of enlightenment is pretty high, so it's very insightful, highly respected work in Chinese Chan. And so he says what he says is superior people, one glance, understand everything. Average inferior people, although very erudite, doubt everything. Okay, and we started. So superior people we started talking about this the last time. They have good roots. The good roots are because of their past lives. They cultivated and they maintain their practices. Just like you here, you practice your Chan every day. That's called maintenance. You maintain your good roots. You maintain your momentum, and that's how your good roots get deeper and multiply as well. And as a result, this lifetime, you will be endowed with superior faculties, such as you smarter, not just smart aleck. The ordinary people, they're smart, but this kind of smart lacks wisdom. Smarts here is they're smart, they're intelligent, but they're receptive to proper things, to good things. All right? And whereas the people of the world who tend to be smart are in terms of worldly smarts, they are more eloquent, but what the ordinary people, world people do with their smarts is they tend to misuse their smarts. They look at how smarter they are and how slower we are, and they become impatient. And they tend to be gang leaders, group leaders, and they tend to pull us along with them to entice us to do things that are not good for us, not good for them either. And that's a problem with smart people. They're too smart, and they lack what? The foundation of goodness. Okay? Without the proper foundation, the smarts of worldly people can be detrimental to them. Yes, 5. Did you have 6? Did you have a question?
Thank you, Master. I have a question about one of my afflictions. I have been bothered by this question for years, but I didn't ask because I don't think I can make it very clear the question. But I want to try today. So generally speaking, the question, the affliction is sometimes people tell me some facts, but I got afflicted. So I have some example. So it's about 5 or 6 years ago. I was seeking a job, so I sent my resume to some families because they are all engineer. So I want to get some help and suggestion about my resume. But all the feedback is like, you lack some work experience, or your working experience and not match the job description. So I feel that's a fact, but I didn't get any help. So I just stopped asking for the help from them. One of them is my husband, so I can speak with him frankly. So I told him I feel like I got a car accident. I was blooding, and when you guys passed by, you tell me, oh, you need to go to hospital. If you don't, you're going to die. That's a fact, but I feel it's not help. So I just do my thing in my way. But I got afflicted. I feel sad and feel helpless. So other example is it happened 1 year ago. It's at the DTD. It's a relic show. I was there for try to helping. It's around noon. Some visitor kneel on the ground waiting for got a blessing from Master Z. I was there, I waiting for a while, and I think, oh, it's almost done. I want to get a blessing from Master Z too. So I try to get in the line. So there are some lay person walked to me and said, oh, Master Z hasn't eaten lunch yet. I said, oh, I was stuck there. I don't know what to do. I don't want to waste the time. That Master Z can have a lunch. But I also think, oh, maybe Master Z doesn't matter to have a lunch later. So I feel embarrassing about these things. So all the things like I have some facts, but I don't know what to do. I want to be a good person, but I don't know how to deal with a situation like this. So my question is how can get rid of those afflictions, and at the last situation, or next time when I encounter this situation, what should I do? Should I get in the line, or should I just do next time? Thank you, Master. I hope the question is clear enough.
Oh, it's very clear to me. Okay. I don't know. What's not clear to me is how to answer you. I don't know. Why are you so afflicted? Is it the person, or is it the...
At the first situation, I think I was pretty emotionally, because at that time, I'm in the seeking job, and the pressure, and they are all my families.
Yeah.
I feel you should help me.
Your brother-in-law.
Yeah, two people brother-in-law. Both the software engineer.
Who does not listen to our Dharma talks.
Yes.
So we can speak freely.
Yes.
Okay. Very limited circle, I can tell right away. Like 3 people that you sought advice from, and they talked negatively about your resume.
Yeah.
First of all, I disagree with them. Nowadays, you don't necessarily need to have the exact experience for the job opening. Many companies are looking for different things, because, for example, jobs in AI right now, there's really no good preparation for it. So they're looking for people who are more flexible and have a proven record of being able to solve problems, good problem solvers. Okay, so but 5 years ago is a different thing. So I don't know. Today it might be different. Why are you afflicted?
I think at the first situation, I just what I thought is, oh, you are my families. You should help me.
You should know better than
you should treat me
more
better.
Sympathetic. Oh, shame on you. Yeah.
Yeah, I was blaming them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But but that's the before my cultivation. So I
Before
think
cultivation. Now you think could happen again?
I think I can deal better.
You won't be as afflicted.
Yeah. I think so. I'm stronger than before. So
Okay. What about the last relics event last year when you were afflicted? Okay. Who was the person who told you?
Can we focus on me? I feel I have some. There's something wrong with me.
Definitely.
I want to know.
I'm trying to point out to you another fact. We are not afraid to offend people. Okay. It's too late to be afraid now. This person here who came in and stopped you from receiving blessings after, was she the person who has been watching you, or she just walked in there and you stood in line and you waited and she just walked in and said, let him go eat? Was she aware you stood in line? Did you see her when you were standing in line?
No.
Okay, she walked in, so didn't know. Okay. Was there a long line?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this person walked in, and is this like Master Z's favorite? No comment, okay. Okay. My, are we so prudent? Cautious. Don't have to be, because my first reaction, knowing you, is that 5 years ago, you have a manic reaction to your family members. He says, yeah, it doesn't help. It's hurtful for people to behave that way instead of providing you with encouragement and reinforcement. Okay, so it's too bad that family, the ones who are close to your sister, your brother-in-law, and your own husband, were lacking, or let's say too frank. Okay, and so it offended you. It made you disappointed, and you had a manic reaction and said, "That's not right. I mean, how could you be so insensitive to my feelings? I just had a car accident. I'm not really. You should be more encouraging, not critical of me, and that's reasonable. However, it's your manic." Response that blames them. That's why you became afflicted. Okay, now you're aware of it. Okay, you should watch out. And you have a tendency of blaming others when you feel righteous about it. Okay, how could you? Okay, that's common. This is very helpful to a lot of people, by the way. And you hear they say, many people don't realize of the manic behavior when even though they're justified, they tend to blame others and actually magnify it out of proportions. Okay, it could be that at the time that your family members were trying to be helpful, but you overreacted. It's very likely to be the case for you. Okay, so right there is pent up frustrations already towards them, and maybe some lack of respect. Okay, and from your part. Okay, and so that's why you were afflicted by that. And so next time, beware of that, especially when you are with them. The reason I talk about specific people, because the manic ghost you have responds to specific people. It acts up according to specific people. It's not for everyone. Like she says yesterday that her son only acts up with her, but not with others. Were you there yesterday? You weren't there. I said, your boy has a typical, I told her, your boy, I've seen so many Korean men and boys, and the attitude is so similar to your son. He says, no, actually he's only that way to me when he's with me, but when he's by himself with others, he's really behaved himself. And so it's a manic behavior. When he's with her, he feels entitled to push her to the limit. Okay, and she's manic herself, but then her manic ghost puts up with it. Whereas sometimes you find two manic people, and one attacks the other would escalate, and this one will escalate, and then you escalate, and that's how you have nuclear war. Okay. My president is also manic. Okay, you attack him, you criticize him, especially publicly, he will escalate. He doesn't even realize it, that he's unstable here. Oh, dear President, all due respect, I'm on your side, okay? So, you see, it's a manic response, okay? It's a manic behavior. It's very typical of these people, okay? Like, all you have to do is criticize them, and their porcupines spikes will rise and be ready for a fight. Okay, that's you. Okay, and whereas this person here is since you refuse to tell me which the particular person. Now, have you changed your mind? You want to mention names? Okay, can I take a guess? Okay, the point here is that I cannot comment on general things if I don't know the person. This is why I ask for specifics: which person, what happened, what time, and so forth. And so I don't know about this person. Since you are not willing to reveal this person, it's probably someone I know and have high regards for. No discrimination. And you just have to accept the fact that you endure. Part of cultivation is to endure. That's all. Okay? And there's no reason to get afflicted because it's not the end of the world. You waited, yes, you spend time waiting, but sometimes we don't always get what we want. You know Mick Jagger?
I don't think I got afflicted by the person. I just don't know what should I do if I got the next situation. Even
it happens again?
No. When I look back, I want to know why I cannot drop the things. From time to time, I still think
That's
about
why
these things.
sometimes it's your manic ghost who gets afflicted towards that person in particular. Okay? It's very, very, very specific reaction.
So, Master, you think it's about the person? It's not that.
It depends.
I thought it's about the situation.
No. Each person is different. For example, these two are manic. Mom and son are manic. Okay, but the manic ghosts do not hate each other. Actually, the other one adores her, and her manic ghost likes it. Whereas your manic ghost does not like another person's manic ghost. That's why you fight immediately. So it's very person specific. That's why it's different to say. Okay, the information is complete, and I cannot compute. Yes, YouTube comment.
Thank you, Master. By the way, that
is it
song
Vicky?
It is. Hi, Master.
So that was you.
No. I wasn't there.
You weren't there, okay.
I wasn't there.
She's also manic, you know.
I'm very manic.
That's why it's somehow most manic people end up at our temples.
Yeah.
Because that's the only place where they can find solace and have fun fighting each other.
That's so true.
In the name of cultivation. Yeah, go ahead. What do you think?
I was going to say that song by Mick Jagger is really good. Apple should listen to it. It's a good song.
You can't always get what you want.
What you want.
Okay, that's life. It's no need to get afflicted. Yes, we're afflicted. It's natural to get afflicted, but then at your level, you should squash it right away. You say, no, this is nonsense. I don't need to get afflicted. It's not the end of the world. Okay? It's not a matter of life and death. It's no big deal. Go ahead, Vicky, continue. What is your Catholic sensibilities tell you?
Confess. But I'm actually have some comments here on YouTube. Diego says, to have expectations of others makes us very afflicted.
To have what from others?
When we have expectations of others, especially those who we think will understand us a little bit more, like family and so on, that really gets us afflicted when they don't.
Yes.
And then from Jane, as we know as Jane Clymer, regarding Apple's questions, the people who expressed their opinions to Apple all had a negative attitude. She felt the negative energy and was hurt by it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Way Mountain, continue.
Hello, Master. A couple comments and my own problem also regarding apples. What she said.
From apple to apple, okay.
Couple comments. Well, off the top. Whatever Apple regarding, doesn't matter what the situation is. If you are the one got affected, then that's the problem, regardless of the situation or persons.
Yeah.
And then regarding
shame
your
on
family,
you, Apple.
No, I didn't say that. And then your family who told you about your resume.
They're laughing because they can't decide which apple they're ashamed to go to. Everyone's laughing because of that. Continue.
Nothing was wrong. They gave you the correct feedback. You're lacking this and that. But what it was is you were having the expectation that they were supposed to make it happen and help you fix up the situation, which is normally majority of the time not the case, because what was required there was something else that they don't even have. You know, if you need help with a job, maybe like the press, somebody who has a relationship with the company could really hook you in. They were just telling you what was the missing information. And I could feel the frustration that you're saying, because I kind of sometimes understand that. You know, like they tell you facts.
Sometimes your mom can be very not delicate enough. So you encounter similar situations, yes?
I don't know, Master. Thank you.
Let's not go there.
Help.
Okay, fine.
So they did help, but it was beyond their help to give you the help that you wanted. So, you know, we ask help, but it doesn't necessarily always get our way. Now, Master, my problem.
Okay.
I got drawn in with once Apple was saying her story. I got very afflicted. So obviously something's happening in my many goals or something, and I don't know what to do. Not her fault. I just being drawn into the situation. Nowadays I could get out a lot of time, but there are times I cannot get out. I just got trapped in it. This is the time. I'm stuck, Master. I'm very afflicted.
Okay, very good. I'm just curious, does your boyfriend criticize you?
Ask him. Ask him. Yes, he's right there. He's free to speak. Thank you, Master.
Anyway, does it help? The point here is that part of your training is to endure suffering. You keep on forgetting. Okay? You are choosing. Your training is such that you're choosing to endure suffering. That's what makes you a superior person, a better person, because you choose to endure it when you don't have to. Okay? Not just everything, anything, but the point here is that that's the training. The training is about enduring the suffering, more and more of it. At first it starts with sitting, crossing your legs. You have to endure the suffering there, and then, and because physically it's very difficult for you. It's not a natural thing. It's a rather silly thing to cross your legs like that, because it stops your, it constricts your blood flows, and therefore you will make you very uncomfortable, and you will suffer a lot. Okay? Unless in a prior life you have good roots. Remember, good roots, again, this is important. I don't want to miss this point. The good roots here refers to you have the capacity for goodness. It's not just good roots, meaning better roots and whatever. Good roots here refers to shan here. Shan here is good. Good roots here refers to actually goodness. It doesn't mean better. Okay? This is what the Chinese fail to emphasize in my mind. That when they talk about shan, gun is roots, shan is good, okay? Good roots, okay? What the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and the ancients are saying is that actually they have planted the seeds of goodness repeatedly over and over and over again in the past. It's not about planting they did things that were beneficial to them later. Okay? It's about doing good things. And in order to do good things, there's some consequences. When you do good things, you will suffer. True or not? In America, we have a saying, no good deeds goes unpunished. So the Chinese language is very profound. Good roots says that they dared do good, even in the face of obstacles, in the face of suffering that accompanies doing good. And they kept on doing it and doing it and doing, and they maintain that attitude. Okay, xiu is to cultivate, to practice. Chu is maintain it. So they maintain their good deeds without any fears. And that's the nature of good roots. Yes, DTT.
마스터, 제가 어제 저녁에 질문 드리고 싶은 게 생각이 나서 질문 드렸고, 제가 만약에 이 질문을 회사를 다녔었다면 하지 않았을 질문 같아요. 네.
Master, I came up with the question last night. Maybe this question I wouldn't have asked you if I was going to work.
그러니까 이제 참고로 제 직업은 2개였는데, 첫 번째 제가 20, 30대는 대기업의 비서로 14년을 일했고, 또 그 이후에는 이제 상담사로 10년을 일했거든요. 네. 이제 제가 하고자 하는 질문은 제가 비서였을 때 그 경험에 관련된 질문이에요. 네.
Actually, I had two job titles. In my 20s and 30s, I was working for a big company as a secretary, and then I became a counselor. But this question is about the period when I worked as a secretary.
이제 제가 어제 하고 싶었던 질문은, 근데 저는 이제 그 CEO의 비서였었기 때문에 이제 사장의 입장이 있고, 사장이 성향이나 사장이 원하는 바가 있고, 또 조직을 이끌어가야 되는 여러 그런 밸런스라고 해야 되나? 그 중간에서 좀 힘들었었거든요. 그런데 이제 회사 다닐 때는 당연히 회사의 이익과 사장의 그 욕구와 원초와 리드에 맞추면 됐는데, 아무런 고민 없이. 왜냐하면 조직이고 회사는 이익을 추구하는 집단이니까요. 네.
So I was actually a secretary of this company's CEO, and this CEO has certain ways of preference, and also there's ways to lead the organization. So I just need to balance between the CEO and the organization. So this was rather easy because the company just need to be profitable.
네, 그런데 이제 제 고민은, 사람들이 자기 하고 싶은 욕구가 있고, 특히 이제 사찰 같은 경우는 굉장히 사찰에 오는 사람들의 스펙트럼이 굉장히 넓단 말인 거죠. 그러니까 제가 위하는 마음, 직업병이었는데 위하는 마음이 있는데, 그 사이에서 제가 어떻게 해야 될지를 모르겠는 거예요. 예전에 이제 회사처럼 할 수도 없고, 회사 다닐 때 욕을 많이 먹었거든요. 네.
So each and one of us has our own desires, and when I'm with the temple actually diverse people come, and maybe this is my occupational thing that between them I don't know what to do. I couldn't behave when I used to work in a company because I got a lot of I was condemned in my company when I was working.
그래서 이제 마스터도 어제 말씀하셨지만, 저는 분별심이 굉장히 많고 굉장히 시간 낭비를 무엇보다 가장 싫어하거든요. 그렇기 때문에 제 번뇌의 사실은 포인트는 시간 낭비하기 싫다, 쓸데없는 인력과 비용을 투입되기 싫다라는 게 가장 큰 번뇌의 원인인 거는 알겠어요. 네.
So as you know, Master, I have a lot of discrimination, and I do not. 그럴 리가. And I do not want to waste time. So most of my affliction arises from me not wanting to waste time and not wanting to put labor on useless things.
그리고 마지막으로 산호세 애플의 코멘트가 있는데요. 네, 한번 끊을게요.
And I also have a comment for Apple in San Jose.
가끔 우리가 TV를 보면 빅스타의 과잉 경호 논란이 있잖아요. 그런 경우라고 생각을 합니다. 저는 좀 저랑 비슷한 성향의 제가자였던 것 같아요. 이상입니다.
When you see the television, there's something. Sometimes there's a controversy on excessive protection of the TV stars, right? I think it's the same thing. The family maybe had a similar personality as me.
Yeah. You know, Jumi, you gave me an idea. And that in some cases, when we allow you to ask questions here, the questions sometimes get longer and more complicated. And so it made me feel like I'm like having a therapy session. And as such, in therapies, people can talk leisurely and take their time to get to the point. So this is why there usually is a couch. So excuse me, in the future, every time you come to the U.S., I will insist on having a couch behind me. Because every time you ask questions, I can lie down and say, "Oh God, why me?" Never mind, but thank you. So was there a question? I care. You see, I want to make sure that your questions are answered.
제 질문은 마스터, 그냥 제가 그냥 뭔가 회사가 아니라 이제 사찰이니까 주지 스님이겠죠. 그러니까 주지 스님의 입장, 뭐 그게 마서지뿐만 아니라 마서 XC도 마찬가지예요. 마서 XC가 잠도 못 자고 밥도 못 먹고 굉장히 희생을 많이 하고 일단 산호세에서 JMT로 왔다는 것 자체가 XC 자체에 굉장히 목숨을 건 약속을 지키기 위한 행보였는데, 네.
So Master, actually, so this is not a company, this is a temple. So actually this is, I'm representing the abbot's position. So it's like Master Z and for Master C. They don't sleep well and they don't eat well and they're sacrificing so much. So for Master C, he came from San Jose to JMT. That itself is a big
And
sacrifice.
this is a new topic?
마스터 생각이 났어요. 어떻게 질문해야 되는지.
I kind of, you know, every time I listen to her, I said, "Are you related to Apple?" Not this one, the other one.
그러니까 마스터 어떻게 질문했으면 됐냐면 그냥 제가 그냥 상사에게 하는 그 로얄티와 많은 사람들의 욕구와 원태와 리드 사이에서 어떻게 인욕해야 되는지를 질문 드려야 될 것 같아요.
Master, now I know how to ask you. So I want to ask you between what should I do between the loyalties towards my boss and between the desires of people.
Desires of people? What kind of desires?
뭐 여러 가지 절에 오는 이유가 있다고 생각해요. 뭐 건강해지고 싶어서 부자가 되고 싶어서 뭐 여러 가지 이유가 있어서 절에 오기 때문에 그런 욕구를 말하는 것입니다.
I think there's various reasons they come to temple. Maybe they want to be healthy, they want to be rich, all those desires I'm talking about.
And what does it have with the loyalty to your boss?
뭐 예를 들면 이제 너무 밥도 못 먹고 잠도 못 자고 그렇게 막 고생을 하는데 뭐 이제 그런 것들이요.
For example, they cannot eat well, cannot sleep well, and they're working so hard, something like that.
Okay, but how is it they're your boss?
제 직업병이라고 생각해 주시면 좋을 것 같아요.
I think it's a disease I carry from my prior job.
Okay. Now I'm more confused. That's okay. We'll let it slide. Okay, go ahead. Wei Mama has a question.
Oh. Hello, Master. I got
Hello.
It's pretty simple question.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Let me
key
be the
question.
judge of that.
It's a key question. So sometimes it happens sometimes when I meditate. So when I could feel like a chi current floating very smoothly suddenly in my body. But then I get this more frequently after I wake up. So after I wake up, within 5 minutes, I would feel a chi floating in my body. And usually I would just stay in bed, let it finish floating because I felt like I was healing my body going through. It doesn't last that long. But I do get that occasionally for meditation. So now my question is, Master, do I wait until the chi finish floating or do I just cut it off? Does it do anything good for me actually at that point?
It depends.
Sorry?
It depends. You could sit there, you could lie there and wait for the chi to finish flowing. Okay? If you have time.
What about meditation?
About what?
What about while I was meditating? Same thing?
You're meditating and the chi flows?
Yeah.
Okay, meditate some more.
I feel like when I'm meditating, I feel like I have this attachment. Usually I try to let it stop before I get off the seat. But, things are happening. A lot of time, I might be better to follow the schedule. So.
What did you do? What did you do to your boyfriend? Now he's in half lotus. That is weird. That is scary. Look at that. He usually sits with his two legs in front of him, which I laugh at that. Let me tell you, just between us Buddhists, okay? You go to Buddha Hall and you stick your legs out like that. In the future, you'll be a snake in future lives. So I laughed at you, Catholic. You're going to get what you deserve. Look at him now. This is torture. Anyway, okay, don't worry about it. Yeah, the quick answer is, if you have time, you can let the chi flow. You don't have time, go. It doesn't matter that much. Okay, next. YouTube question.
Thank you, Master. You have a comment here from T.S. Geppetto. Amitabha, Master, for some weeks I have been afflicted now. Every Saturday, I expect the most wonderful song of enlightenment. Instead, I get this Korean lady's life story. How do I not get afflicted? Thank you.
I struggle too. And that's called cultivation, buddy. It's my fault. You don't need to blame anyone but me because I allow it to happen. Okay? And why is that? Because it's free class. If you pay, then you can you can make demands. When it's free, it's my choice. Just kidding. I expect this to happen. Sometimes this is not the first time, but that's part of your learning that you need to endure it. Okay, endure. Why is that? Because it's good for you. It may not make sense to you right now, very much like when you first learned Full Lotus. Your mind is screaming, it says, why do I have to suffer? Why do I have to endure it? Okay? It doesn't make sense to you. Logically, it doesn't make sense. But if you're willing to follow the instructions, great things happen to you. It's the nature of the time training, folks. There's a lot of things we're doing that you do not understand. Okay? It's not easy at all for you, especially on the surface. It's really nonsensical. This is nonsense. A lot of it is nonsense. But all you have to remind yourself is that, did I allow it to happen or not? If I allow it to happen, then there's a reason for it. If it's no good, I will cut it off right away, especially around lunchtime, which is about 10 minutes away. Okay, guys, when it comes to lunchtime, I cut it off right away because it's no good anymore. But the point is that you need to have an open mind, that I'm doing a lot of things that don't make sense to you, to most of you. And yet, many of you choose to tolerate it, choose to what? What's the key word? Endure it. If you endure it, it's not about enduring here. The endurance training here is not about simply physical, but also here. You need to endure it. Okay? You start first with this Full Lotus because it's physical. But we use your legs to teach you to learn to endure mentally. And then after that, okay, then you need to endure a lot of these things where it's on the surface, it appears to be a waste of time, but it's not. Okay? Down the road, when you open your wisdom, when your samadhi level is higher, you will realize it's very useful. You got to a high level, you got to improve because you endured it. Okay? And not just endurance, but also it helps you build something else much better, much more critical for your well-being as well. Okay? Let me go back quickly to the slide here, 157. He says, you're too smart, and therefore you take shortcuts, and therefore you do things that are more sensible to you. And what's the difference? That's what we call worldly smarts, worldly intelligence. Yes, you are right. You are right that it does not make sense. Yes, you're right that when you do things the way you see them, it's really beneficial for you. What's the difference between worldly intelligence versus Li Chu here? Here. Chinese character Li Chu here. We translate it as sharp wisdom. What's the difference between Shu tu zhong ming, you being smart here, intelligent, versus li chu, that is sharp wisdom. What's the difference? Do you know? Master Hsuan teaching looks very casual, but it's very, very precise. What's the difference? Anyone knows? Worldly eloquence, worldly smarts is that they are not wrong. Okay, they are right. And they make sense. Whereas sharp wisdom, they don't use the word intelligence, but they use wisdom. So what's the difference between wisdom and intelligence? Who knows? The difference is in the timeline. More specifically, smart people, intelligent people, worldly people, their timeline is much shorter than people who have wisdom. Let me make my point. Worldly people, give an example, okay? They see $100 bills right there on the floor, okay? And they said, no one's looking, belongs to no one, okay? Therefore, I pick it up. That's a smart thing to do. Otherwise, the wind just blows it or we get lost and get destroyed for nothing, right? That's being smart. That's being reasonable, yeah? However, when you take $100 bills there on the floor, okay, you realize that you're stealing because it doesn't belong to you. You can't take it. So there's a principle behind it. That is, if it doesn't belong to you, and if you did not receive permission to take it, if you take it, it's called stealing, and therefore, right now, in a short term, you have a short-term benefit of having $100 more. Okay, but you expand the time horizon, it's an act of theft. Therefore, in the future, guess what? You have to pay back more than $100. And therefore, people who have wisdom, they say, I ain't going to take a loss. Because taking a $100 bill right now is actually foolish act. It will make me incur a bigger loss in the future. That's the difference between wisdom and intelligence. Intelligent people are not necessarily wrong, okay? But they're too short-sighted. They don't see it. They don't understand. They only see short-term benefits, okay? But not long-term losses. That's the difference. Okay? So your training is spiritual by nature. You are trained constantly, okay, to endure more and more and more. And that has wonderful things beyond this, the advantage of increasing your physical health, but also, much more importantly, that if you decide and commit to, if you're willing to endure more and more, okay, that's the process, folks. The Chan I'm teaching you, the Chan we're training you here in Weiyang lineage, the one I know, okay, I understand, is that you choose to endure more until you can't anymore, and next time around, and do a little bit more, okay? Then you can stop and do a little bit more, and you don't even know how beneficial it is for you. Just commit to that mentally. A little bit more each time. That's all you have to do. There's a magic behind it, okay? And it reprograms your thinking mind and it opens your long-term wisdom. Because if you stick alone to your smarts and to your worldly intelligence, it ends when you die. Whereas when you plant the seeds of wisdom right there, going through the training and sticking to our script, you are planting good roots and great roots. Not just good roots, but also great roots. That's the difference. So don't think we are stupid, by the way, that we give it away for you, give it the good stuff to you for free. Temporarily, we look stupid. But long term, we come out far ahead because we give you $100 worth of free goods. We're planting seeds of wisdom for us to get 10 million more. Good stuff. You cannot call patriarch stupid. He said, "Why? What's so wise about giving it away for free? You taking losses. There's electricity, there's water, and there's food, and you have to pay, and you give it away for free. Well, that's so stupid. Okay, unsustainable. Okay, but it's only short term. Yeah, I calculate too." You can't call me stupid. Foolish, yes. Yes, 6.
Master, for layperson, if I'm not that concerned about money, should I also give my service free to people? That's actually one thing I always struggle. I used to charge a lot for my service. One of the reasons is it's a way to screen people, so I get motivated people.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, I don't really mind giving it out for free. But
It's always, you need to have balance. Okay? We can't give away everything constantly. All the time. It's not sustainable. Okay? So that's why I feel that you need to have a balance in the approach. Yes, you have to charge, and then you can give away some free stuff as well. And that's much more sustainable. Okay? At this level. In the future, it's a different thing. When you become a bodhisattva level, then they're willing to give it away for free. You know why? They have so many blessings that they cannot take enough of it. Okay, it's different. But we are limited. We have, our resources are limited, so therefore, much better to have a balance, first of all. Number 2, yes, if you overdo it, then they tend to abuse it, and actually it doesn't help them. They simply use it as, they become users instead of learning. This is there. And so in our cases, for example, we give away things for free, but after a while, when these people turn out to just there to take advantage of the freebies, and they really are not interested in learning or changing, that's when we tell them, no, this is the end for you. Okay? And so there's always that. Okay? You can't always win all the time. You can't always get what you want. Jesse and can send you a link to that particular song of Mick Jagger. He's a Rolling Stone groupie. Am I right, huh, Jesse? Yeah, he agrees. Okay, thank you everyone. We stop here today. Oh no, do you have a question? Quick one? Go ahead. He's doing the AV, so I give him special considerations.
Thank you, Master. So recently, I mean not recently, but the acupuncturist I go, he says that my blood pressure is low, and also the pulse, the heartbeat. But he mentioned something about meditation, and then also he says that it's because my work requires to think a lot. So even I try to meditate every day, but it feels like I think it's still not enough, maybe, because the blood pressure is still being low. So is
What, low?
Blood pressure? Blood pressure?
Blood pressure is low.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe should I meditate more or maybe do another practice to help with the thinking?
The more you meditate, the lower your heart rate becomes. So that will even lower the blood pressure, no?
Okay, so then it's normal to have the pressure low for me?
For us, yeah.
Okay.
For us, it's our heart rate is very, very low. Okay, but I'm not sure about the blood pressure. I only know that my doctor is always so surprised. He says your heart rate is very, very low, and that's not normal. Okay, so I ignore that part of it. But I'm not sure about the blood pressure. So your question is about your blood pressure is too low?
Yeah, both
and you're
are
concerned
low.
the meditation is does it help or does it make it worse?
So he said that it's because I'm weak or because I think too much at work.
I'm not sure. Physically, you may want to consider exercises, okay, that will increase your blood pressure, I think. No? I'm not a doctor. Talk to our doctor and see what they typically recommend, okay? But even in your state, after you meditate, does it help increase your energy level or decrease the energy level?
Yeah, no, I feel with more energy. I can do more things.
You have more energy?
Yeah.
Okay. So it should not have any negative effects on your blood pressure. Actually, in principle, it should help. Okay. But I'm no doctor. We better consult with a real doctor and see what they advise, okay? Whether it's Western medicine or Eastern medicine, what you can do, excuse me, to deal with a low blood pressure. I don't know. Find out, get more information.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Master. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We stop here today, and let's go have lunch.